of 20 to May of 2020, and we were sitting as an organization and thinking, how do we shine a light on some of the amazing things that entrepreneurs in our community do? Because let's face it, entrepreneurs are problem solvers, and guys, we've had a few problems. And so it's, you know what, we want to shine a light and we want to change a little bit of the narrative in our own little way. And so Pitch for Good was birthed, and it really was created in order to lift the voices and shine a light on our entire community of entrepreneurs. And so we are so grateful and thankful that people apply and they pitch, and that people watch, support, applaud, buy products, whatever we need to do. So thank you. Just so you know, the Nashville Entrepreneur Center is a nonprofit organization founded here in Nashville in 2010 to support people and businesses, and as we call it, through all phases of the entrepreneurial life cycle. From I've got an idea to I've had a successful exit, and now I have time and I have money, and I want to help that next generation and help lift up the entrepreneurs in our community. And so as a nonprofit, our work's made possible by generous donations of time, lots of time, money, and other resources from various support levels, including our business partners, individuals, as well as sponsors, and also the local and state governments. So we're grateful to all of our partners and sponsors for making this event possible. And our judges, thank you. We are so excited to have our judges with us today. And again, it does take a community to come together to be able to do something like this, and we are really appreciative of all of you. Thank you for serving. So as far as our specific sponsors for today, the Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation, they have been here since the beginning. Phil Gaskin, who is the CEO, is a wonderful entrepreneurial mind, and we are so thankful for them and their support. GP Sources, another partner of ours, which we are real grateful to have you as a part of this. And Dell, hello. Dell Technologies has done things for the Entrepreneur Center, as well as entrepreneurs in our community, as has Launch Tennessee, which is our partner. And we really do appreciate each and every one of these for their support and art in helping us make this event possible. So enough of me, over to Bren, who is a star in her own right. And so Bren, to you, love.
Thank you, Jane. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's so good to see you all. I'm looking at the participant list and just seeing so many names that are familiar and dear to me and to the Entrepreneur Center. So great to have you all on. As you all know, my name is Bren Plummer. I'm the Vice President of Entrepreneurship. Excuse me, I'm the Vice President of Equity, Inclusion, and Community Relations at the National Entrepreneur Center. And I'm so excited to be able to host our Pitch for Good series in coordination with Jeremy, who's behind the scenes as our producer, Jeremy Raley, a longtime staff member at the EC, and Shelby Brown, who's also helping produce this event today. So let's get into a bit of the housekeeping. So as you might have heard at the very top of this event is being recorded. We record all of the Pitch for Goods so that we can put them up on our YouTube channel, so that anyone who's out there in the entrepreneurial community who wants to know, gosh, what should a 1 minute pitch sound like? What should I include? What are the most impactful 1 minute pitches comprised of? They can go onto our YouTube channel and see all the past Pitch for Goods. So if there's someone who's thinking about entering one, I highly encourage you to go and check them out. So this is being recorded. It is a webinar, so you won't be able to come off mute, but please, as I already see people doing, please use the chat and put your notes, thoughts, questions, comments in the chat. And then finally, I want to cover what an elevator pitch is, which you heard me mention just a second ago. The idea of an elevator pitch is pretty straightforward. So let's imagine you get into the elevator with someone and they're an entrepreneur, they're an investor, and you want to put your idea across to them, but you only have from like floor 1 to floor 20 to make them compelled to invest in you. So you've got no slides, you've got no props, it's just you and this person, and you need to compel them by the strength of your idea and by your excellent communication skills. So that's what an elevator pitch is. Today we have some phenomenal judges here, including some former Pitch for Good participants. So first up, we have Kristen Cavallari, who is the founder and CEO of Uncommon James. Hi, Kristen, great to have you. And then we've got Jamie Troxel, who's here from Dell Women's Entrepreneurship Network. And also as part of the global marketing team at Dell. We've seen Jamie before, which we're good. It's great to have you back, Jamie. And then Felicia Jackson, who was the, I would say, ultimate grand champion. If we had a championship belt for Pitch for Good, Felicia would possess it. She won Pitch for Good Black Founders last year. Then she went to the kind of finals, semifinals behind the scenes, and then ultimately pitched in Tennessee Titans Pitch for Good, Tennessee Tough, excuse me, where she became the ultimate winner and is now the Tennessee Titans Small Business Partner of the Year, and is able to receive the marketing and push that comes from being a Tennessee Titans Partner of the Year. And she's also, of course, founder and CEO of CPR Rep. So let's get into some of these ground rules. There'll be one little flip in how we run today's event in comparison to past Pitch for Goods, which will be very straightforward. Each entrepreneur has a minute to pitch. There'll be 2 minutes of Q&A with each judge. Sometimes I might let it go a little long if there's a really good question, but in general, I try to keep it pretty even across the 2 minutes. And then today, here's the switch. Instead of starting with our launch category, we're going to begin with our up and running category. And the winners for both categories, up and running and launch, both receive a $2,000 financial grant, and then a $2,000 financial grant. And they're able to use that whatever way they wish to grow their business. The launch category, as a reminder, is for businesses from $0 to $25,000 in revenue. And then the up and running category is for businesses from $25,000 and above. Also, there's a crowd favorite. So you as the participant and the watcher get to partake in letting the winners shine and celebrate. So anyone who is awarded crowd favorite of a Pitch for Good is awarded a $1,500 scholarship to the National Entrepreneur Center to use in whichever way they'd like to see fit, whether it's curriculum, space, counseling, not counseling, but advising. I'd say counseling, but I mean business counsel, not counseling therapy. You know what I mean. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get going. We've got our first founder up. Jeremy, are we ready to go? All right, our up and runners today. Today we've got Rachel Sanders with Routine. We've got Lauren O'Meara with Doc Launcher, and we've got Neda Dobbins with MIM Connect, who will all be presenting in the up and running categories. All right, and up first will be Rachel Sanders. Let's bring Rachel up, Jeremy.
Yep, promoting right now. Wait, I hit.
It takes a second for Zoom. Jeremy's promoting them. It takes a second for them to get recognized on the back end. So founders are ready to go. The pause is a technical pause and not them.
Yep, and I'm going to stop sharing this for a second.
Beautiful.
Why? Give me one moment.
Rachel, if you're out there, I know this is probably agonizing, but we're very excited to hear you pitch. Okay, she says she's back. Beautiful. Jeremy's probably working to promote you.
Yeah, sorry. There's a new Rachel Sanders. Let's see if that one works.
A fresh Rachel Sanders.
Fingers crossed.
I bet that's her.
Yep.
Thank you all. Apologies,
Wonderful.
my internet cut out at the wrong time.
Well, I mean, life. All right, Rachel, I'm going to start your minute whenever you begin talking. You can feel free to go whenever you're ready. And then afterwards, I will say thank you and great work. And then I'll hand it off to our judges, and that's when the 2 minutes for Q&A will start. All right?
Perfect. Great.
Ready?
Yes.
Take it away.
Inadequate nutrition is the #1 cause of chronic disease in the US. Close to 90% of people don't get adequate daily vitamin and mineral intake, leading to micronutrient deficiencies that have a significant impact across fatigue, stress, immune health, and many chronic diseases. While others in the $700 billion market focus on one-size-fits-all solutions, Routine is optimizing health and daily performance with precision nutrition. Today, we're empowering thousands of members to leverage their data to track and improve their health through personalized insights, products, and digital tools. We've 5x revenue in 12 months with our current product suite of at-home testing and a precision personalized micronutrient subscription focused on cellular health. And we're making an impact. 70% of members are improving health across areas like fatigue, stress, immune health, and more. We're led by a world-class team of clinicians, engineers, and brand builders from places like Harvard, Warby Parker, and Lisa, and topped by top VCs and angels around the globe. Join us today at routine.co to leverage your data to optimize health with precision nutrition. Thank you.
Rachel, that was awesome. Also, this sounds like something we should all be looking into for ourselves. Routine, way to go. All right, with 2 minutes on the clock, I'm going to let our judges begin. Any judges can take it away. and Rachel will be on deck to answer their questions.
Hi, Rachel. Can you tell me a little bit about the exact testing that we would be performing ourselves at home?
Yeah, so we currently offer 2 types of testing. One is a DNA test. The other is a at-home blood test, which is a finger prick. The DNA test looks at 50 genetic variations that are research proven to have an impact on how your body metabolizes, utilizes, or processes nutrients. And on the blood testing side, currently we look at vitamin B6, B9, which is folate, and B12, as well as D3. But we'll be expanding our testing capabilities to include minerals, heavy metals, and additional micronutrients.
And is this expensive? How much would it cost for someone to do these testings?
The tests are $100 each, which is significantly reduced compared if you were to go get it at a doctor.
Great, thank you.
Rachel, I had a quick question. So when I hear DNA testing and the kind of data that you'd be collecting, really curious about what kind of parameters you've put in place to keep it secure and make sure that you're ensuring consumer privacy.
Yeah, definitely. It's a number one thing that we focus on as we think about building out the member platform. We have a number of safety protocols in place, everything from the technology side to the sample processing side, and vendor management and how that data is collected and transferred. And we do not share or sell data like other companies in the DNA testing space.
Real
Okay,
quick,
thank you.
Rachel, has COVID hindered or helped your business?
A lot of individuals are understanding that prevention and a focus on their health is really important. So that has definitely been an education opportunity that's been great for not only our business, but as the community as a whole. But there's, of course, challenges as a startup going through a pandemic that we've also experienced.
Rachel, how do you test for minerals in your body?
So there's ways to do mineral test, like a blood test for looking at selenium, zinc, that kind of stuff. Right now, our members are able to upload data that they have either from other at-home testing companies or that they've gotten from a provider. So we're already able to incorporate that data both on the DNA testing and the blood level side. And then we'll be expanding the testing kits from there.
Okay.
All right, that's the 2 minutes. Rachel, just out of curiosity, normally don't go this long into the questions. People pay for the $100 test each, and then is there a fee, like a subscription fee, or is there a monthly fee that they pay?
Yes, the micronutrient subscription is $70 a month, and the testing is additional.
Perfect. All right, Rachel, thank you so much for telling us about Routine. I love that this is a company that we can go consume right away. We can go be customers of Routine right now.
Yeah,
Great
thank
work,
you so much for
Rachel.
having me.
Absolutely, a beautiful background too, if I do say so myself. Let's get Lauren on stage. Lauren O'Meara. And while Lauren's coming up, Riley Wallace, who is on our marketing team, reminded me that it is actually Women's Equality Day, which I did not know. Thank you for telling me that, Riley. Very fitting that we're here all together for Pitchfork of Women's Founders Edition with all women judges on Women's Equality Day. All right, Lauren, are you on deck?
Hi, everyone. Good to see you.
Hello, it's great to see you. Lauren is a graduate of Free Flight and went through a few years ago. We're happy to have you back. All right, Lauren, I'm going to start your time right now.
Okay. Over the last year, we have seen what clinical research can do. Operation Warp Speed was able to create, test, approve, and deploy a vaccine for COVID in about a year. Meanwhile, the nearly 400,000 other clinical studies are expected to take at least 10 years each to reach the public. The majority of that time, around 7 years, is spent in clinical trials, trying to connect with the right patients to complete the research. The bottleneck to new and better treatments to cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, dementia, and more is effective patient recruitment. DocLauncher solves the medical research bottleneck by connecting doctors with convenient, easy-to-use clinical trial information. When community physicians have the relevant information in the right form, they can quickly identify, qualify, and refer patients for enrollment in trials that may benefit them. We believe we can make recruitment 10 times faster and reduce time in trial by 80%. We are currently working with 2 large research groups, one in cardiology and one in oncology. If we're selected, we'll apply the prize to increase outreach and expand the system. Thank you.
What an interesting, I feel like I never thought about that, how people recruit patients to these clinical trials. I've seen those advertisements, but it sounds like there has not been a really great tech solution to make this faster and easier, almost like a ZipRecruiter for recruiting patients to studies. Super fascinating, Laura. And I love that we also have started with 2 healthcare companies. All right, Lauren, we've got 2 minutes for questions for you. I'm going to start the clock when the judges begin to ask you questions.
Hey,
Right.
Lauren, quick question. Is anything about
Okay.
this proprietary?
Nothing except for the research itself is proprietary. Yeah.
Okay, what
But
makes
the-
this different? Yeah, go ahead. I'm
sorry. But the information that they public is that they publish is general. It's like the qualifying requirements for patients to become a part of the trial.
Okay, okay. What makes this a little different than Google or Google Drive?
It's a similar
Specifically for
concept.
the medical?
Yeah, it's a similar concept of sharing information. The really unique thing about it is creating an efficient taxonomy so that a community physician can go through the traits of the patient and find the appropriate trial. So they can find, like, bladder cancer and then look at the different qualifiers and traits of their cancer to find the exact right one that's correct for them.
Okay, thank you.
Lauren, I'm curious about your go-to-market strategy. I know it sounds like you've got two customers in place right now. I know that the digital health space has lots of barriers to entry, so I was curious to what your strategy is to grow.
Sure. We've been working with different medical groups for about almost 10 years now. So we have a lot of connections. We can reach out to the people that we've worked with on other projects over the years and tell them about this. And we found that word of mouth is the most effective way to spread. Like, once we've proven it and we can show with the data this is really working and effective, then the different groups will tell each other about it and it'll go.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions.
All right. Anyone else? All right, Lauren, thank you so much for telling us about Doc Launcher. Very necessary in this world, as we've seen. Trials, clinical trials have been fueling so much of the consumer experience in medicine over the past year and a half. So thank you for bringing this to market. And I imagine Vanderbilt Nashville is a city with all the universities here that could really benefit from this. Lauren, thank you so much. All right, up next, we've got Netta Dobbins of MIM Connect. Netta, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you
You
sound
see me?
great. Yes, I can. I love this lamp. It's beautiful. Everyone's background is coming through today.
I
Okay.
love lamp.
How dare you, Jeremy?
It's
I feel like
Anchorman. right,
This is why men are not allowed to speak today, because they'll just quote Anchorman. We can't have it. Okay. Netta, your minute will begin as soon as you begin speaking. Take it away.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Netta Dobbins, and I am the CEO of MIM Connect. MIM Connect is a tech-enabled platform helping professionals of color navigate their careers while also helping companies recruit, retain, and develop diverse talent. MIM Connect started from my own personal journey as a Black woman trying to navigate corporate America and finding myself the only person of color or the only woman in many of the rooms that I was in. So created the platform. In 2 weeks, we had 300 people, and today we're reaching just about 10,000 professionals. With all that happened last year, we think that right now is prime to really shake up the recruitment industry, which is a $13.1 billion industry, and place ourselves as the #1 resource for recruitment and diversity hiring. We're working with companies like MailChimp, TED, Capital One, and more, and are on track to reach $500,000 in revenue this year. So that is all.
Netta, thank you so much. Perfect timing also, which is very, very helpful on the run of show side. Really excited to hear about this, especially since marketing and communications has been so crucial for every entity in the past year and a half as things have moved quickly and pivoted in society. So excited to hear what questions the judges have for you. Judges, 2 minutes for questions about MIM Connect and how she is going to grow this company.
Yeah, hi Netta. How are you planning on getting this out there other than just the network that you have right now? What kind of marketing plan do you have?
Yeah, so we're actually hosting our first inaugural digital career fair this year, and we have a bunch of sponsorship dollars that we're going to use for ads and have people come in to talk with these companies. So that's going to be one way. But honestly, our community has always grown organically, and it's doubled each year because of that. We believe that word of mouth is always the best marketing tool.
Okay, great.
Netta, I have two questions. One was I was curious how you're monetizing or commercializing this. So it sounds like you've got some strategies in place to partner with talent acquisition and recruitment organizations. So would love to hear you expand just a little bit more on that. My second one was we have seen such an explosion in companies starting up in this space, which is wonderful to see. But I was curious if you have any other partnerships that that you're looking at. I don't know if you can share, but anything that you've thought strategy-wise that would be really beneficial to helping you kind of hit that next level.
Yeah, so monetization, we monetize on both sides. So on the B2C side, we have a digital community where professionals of color can hop on. We produce workshops and masterclasses. So think of it as a one-to-one career advancement, Coursera type of thing. That's a freemium product, $14.99 a month. And then on the B2B side, we work through annual contracts with our clients starting at about $30,000 annually and increasing based on the number of roles and support they're looking for. We have a bunch of huge clients in the pipeline. We actually just signed a contract with Intuit, which is super exciting. So I can talk about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I think what's really helping us grow right now is bringing on those larger clients. And one amazing thing that I love bragging about is our clients tell other people about us too. So most of the people and the clients and the companies that are coming to us are from word of mouth or they found us online, which just further shows how impactful we've been.
Great, thank you.
I don't have a question because Jamie asked the question, which is great. I just want to tell you kudos because it's inclusion and diversity all under one roof, and no longer anyone can say they don't know where the talent is because it's right there. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we are the one-stop shop for all of their needs. So
That's an excellent point, Felicia. Another great job, and great job to all three of our participants in the up and running category. That was just to reemphasize Routine, Doc Launcher, and Netta Dabbins with MIM Connect. Congratulations to all of you. I can see that you're all deep in it and in the scaling stage where things can get really hairy, but also really, really exciting. So congrats. So keep those in mind. We've got 3 more for you in the launch category. As a reminder, these are 25,000 and below. These are companies that are just getting their foot in the door and just starting to make their impact on the world. So up first, we've got Comma Collective. All right. We'll be bringing Miller to the stage with Comma Collective. Hi, Miller. Great to see you.
Great to see you.
I can hear you. Sound great. You sound wonderful.
Awesome. All righty. I'm ready to get started when you are.
All right. You may begin.
Cool. All right. 800 years. That's how long it takes your tampon to decompose in a landfill. I'm Miller Morris. I'm a global health epidemiologist, and I'm the founder of the Comma Collective. Women and girls in my research communities were missing valuable days of work and school because they didn't have period products that made sense for them. Without reliable access to clean water or a waste management infrastructure, they needed something that was backyard compostable right at home. And now I'd like to bring those products to market through our direct-to-consumer subscription service in the US. Comma's products are organic and free from toxins and dyes, and our bioplastic applicators are made from carbon sequestering material that biodegrade in a matter of weeks rather than centuries. And on top of all of this, we reinvest revenue back into our sister nonprofit, Comma Catalyst, which fights period poverty worldwide. So we're sitting out at this moment of climate crisis, and women and girls across the world are losing rights right before our eyes. So we have to do better for you, for her, and for us. Thank you.
Wow. I feel like this is an area that it's bananas to think that pretty much everyone with a uterus has had a period for most of their life. And yet I feel like we're just now getting into these things like the pink tax and period poverty and girls missing school because of periods and menstruation. So I feel like this is something that is so timely and beyond necessary, beyond just needed for so many reasons. So Miller, awesome idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now I'm going to hand it off to our judges to ask questions of Miller about the Comma Collective.
This is great. I wanted to ask you, I didn't get, are you a for-profit or a nonprofit?
We are a for-profit entity, and we have a nonprofit that's a sister organization with a revenue kickback agreement. So once we're making revenue, we're hoping to launch in Q1 on January 7th with our e-commerce platform that we'll be reinvesting revenue from our sales into our nonprofit that then grants to community-led NGOs so they can do their work their way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Miller, this sounds awesome. Can you explain the actual product to me and then how you would compost it in your backyard, let's say?
Sure. So I don't want to get too technical and also give away all of our trade secrets, but we are piloting a novel materials blend that is a lot less water intensive to farm. So even from the seed stage, we have environmental sustainability baked into the cake. The actual tampon, at least for our original product launch, will be made of organic cotton, just like if you're buying from an organic period company to begin with. But then our applicator, what actually puts the tampon in the vagina, is made of a fully compostable plant-based bioplastic. And there are bio additives that have been used, the microorganisms that actually eat away at oil spills will eat away at this bioplastic, because that's the chemical process that's mimicked in the additives that we put in the compostable applicator. So if you home compost, you could expect a breakdown of your applicator in about 7 to 9 weeks, or if you send it to a landfill, it will break down in a matter of months too. So it's guilt-free no matter how you dispose of these products.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Miller, I was curious, who do you feel like is your biggest competitor?
Yeah. I honestly think that I would say Cora and Lola, which do organic cotton tampons in a direct subscription consumer service, are a big competition. But I also think we're building a different kind of company. I'm an evidence-based person. I'm a scientist, and I think about us building a technology company. And I think about tampons as wearable tech and what we can learn from menstruation and menstrual data, in addition to you know, when you track your period with a product and a service in mind, rather than just kind of trying to jot it down for your next doctor's appointment. And so, you know, I also think that we're kind of in the same sphere as a group like Fitbit. And I don't see these people as competitors necessarily. I see them as other entities that we can learn from, and we can push ourselves forward. And yeah, I'm excited to go to market and see who the real competition ends up being. Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Awesome. Miller, thank you so much for talking to us about Comma
Thanks,
Collective.
Bryn. Yeah.
Super provocative idea and really great conversations. Thank you, Miller.
Yeah.
Up next, we've got Allison Campbell with Fluffy Friends. I see Allison is coming. There she is. Hi, Allison.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello. I can hear you. You sound great. And whenever you're ready, I'm going to start your minute, so you can begin at any time.
Alrighty. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who used her incurable illness as an inspiration to help other kids like herself. My name is Allison Campbell, and that little girl was me. I am the founder and CEO of Fluffy Friends for Children with Chronic Conditions, which provides these children with a personalized teddy bear they can relate to. Fluffy Friends are cute, cuddly, comforting, concealable teddy bears with matching diagnoses. As a patient myself, I know that Fluffy Friends can help children who are navigating experiences similar to my own. Approximately 1 in 4 children live with a chronic health condition, and up to 40% of these kids develop post-traumatic stress symptoms that diminish their quality of life. But Fluffy Friends are designed specifically to mitigate these adverse effects beyond hospital walls and prevent medically induced PTSD. If awarded funds for Pitch for Good, the company will use the award to launch our pilot program at East Tennessee Children's Hospital. So, will you help me bring Fluffy Friends into the arms of children who need them most?
Allison, great pitch, excellent pitch. I love this concept. I had no idea that was 1 in 4 children had a chronic condition that they live with. That is obviously a really high number of children. So thank you for sharing that research, and the concept you're doing also sounds just like so enriching for families and caregivers and children, of course, at the center. All right, judges, you've got 2 minutes to ask questions of Allison about Fluffy Friends.
This is amazing. I just have to say, I love
you.
innovation. This is great. Is there anything proprietary towards your product?
Yeah, so currently
You
we're
have a
working
patent,
on
right?
trademarking our name, which is totally not what you're asking, but we're also working on a patent. I'm no legal expert, but as far as I can tell, as far as what I've learned so far, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a utilities patent. If not, no big deal, we'll get a design patent.
Allison, is it one stuffed animal that then could have different issues, or do you have multiple stuffed animals that the kids could choose from? How does it actually work?
So each stuffed animal is specifically linked or I guess fitted to match one diagnosis, if that makes sense. So the part that makes
Okay.
them specific to their diagnoses is hidden in a secret pocket. I won't say more than that because of proprietary reasons, and then
Oh, okay.
that's the concealable part such that they don't have to share what makes their fluffy friend so special in case there's some sort of stigma associated with their condition that they don't need to share if they don't want to.
I like that.
Is it sort of like Build-A-Bear, Allison, where like you go and you pick the different parts? Is that sort of how the toys are made?
As far as to the recipients, no, because each bear is permanently fitted with whatever makes them special. So if a child has, let's say phase 1 is hydrocephalus. So if they have hydrocephalus, they'll get a hydrocephalus bear. If they have
Okay.
sickle cell anemia, they'll get a sickle cell anemia bear.
Got it. So the bears and the fluffy friends are fitted with that particular disease and they're kind of standardized across. Okay, got
ma'am.
that. Got it. Okay, Jamie, I think you were going to ask a question.
Yeah, I was curious about your go-to-market strategy. So it sounds like a B2C right now, but are you looking at partnering with hospitals or, anything of that nature?
I'm very glad you asked that. We're actually starting with B2B. So as a Children's Miracle Network ambassador for East Tennessee Children's Hospital, I have my foot in the door already, so I can launch right here in Knoxville. So their development team have been my biggest cheerleaders throughout this whole process, and they will help me go to market at this launch phase hospital first before expanding out to other Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
I have one more question. Are these, I don't know the actual term, but thinking about sick kids and, a stuffed animal, are there materials that you're using that are going to be disinfectable or, anything like that that would allow you to keep them
I'm so glad you
cleaner?
asked. So we're going to be using antimicrobial fabric such that the kids can bring their fluffy friend to them to sleepovers and whatever they need to without worrying too much about needing to wash it every day when they come home.
That's great. I think that's really important.
Yay. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Allison, that's awesome. I love that you've thought about all these different, you as the recipient and you as the user and you as also the ambassador now are able to make something come to life that could have really been awesome when you were a kid going through the different experiences and procedures you had. Thank you so much. And shout out to East Tennessee. I don't know how many people know, but Pittsburgh is actually for across the whole state of Tennessee. So we have people from Chattanooga, Knoxville, Nashville, everywhere in between. And we are so excited that you all are able to be part of this. And last but not least, in the launch category, we've got Jennifer Watson with Limulus. Jennifer, are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Beautiful. All right, I'll begin your minute when you begin speaking.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jennifer Watson, and I want to save the horseshoe crab. Horseshoe crabs, also known as Limulus polyphemus, are as old as the dinosaurs, and they're critical to the ecosystem on the Eastern American coast. But what many people don't know is that their blood is used in order to test for the sterility of our medicines. Their blood has a very unique characteristic in that when it's exposed to gram-negative bacteria, it visibly clots. And we utilize this assay in order to, honestly, it's an FDA required test for all approval of all intravenous drugs, internal medical devices, and vaccines. Unfortunately, this human necessity, along with climate change and overfishing, has led to a reduction in their population. So as CEO, co-founder, and chief scientist of Limulus, a bit of a pun there, we want to completely remove the horseshoe crab from the production cycle and generate an alternative drop-in replacement assay utilizing recombinant technology in order to ensure the long-term safety of our pharmaceuticals.
Jennifer, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. And I first learned about this through the NPR story about horseshoe crabs, which if you have not listened to the This American Life episode about the horseshoe crab, highly encourage it. It is deeply fascinating and you will think so much. If you're someone who as a child went to the aquarium and touched these little things in the tank and haven't thought about them since, super provocative, and it will make you think twice about all the processes that we interact with as humans. All right, thank you, Dr. Watson, and let's turn it over to our judges for their questions. You all may begin.
I have a question about FDA. When that process, do you have to register with the FDA or are you at a class 1, 2, or 3 for any of
We do not. It's actually, so LAL is in this very unique category because it's used, pretty much throughout all of our pharmaceutical industry, that it's separate from that. All you have to do is prove that your product has the same sensitivity of the Limulus, like the actual product derived from Limulus, and then it's FDA approved. It's fine. It's fine to use as a replacement.
Wow, that's good.
Jennifer, what do you see as kind of like your biggest challenges coming up for like the next probably like year? What are your challenges and goals?
Definitely developing our minimal viable product. We've been working on that for a couple of years now. And, you know, me and my husband have built a molecular biology laboratory in our attic. We've bought our stuff off eBay, and we're just now at the stage that we've created the first step in that protein cascade. So that's definitely the biggest step, is just to create that minimal viable product. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's an important one. Yep.
It's a big one. It's a real big one.
Okay, thank you.
Jennifer, where does your passion, oh, sorry, where does your passion for this come from?
You know, so I graduated from the University of Alabama, Birmingham as a neuroscientist. And honestly, the first class that we took, we worked with horseshoe crabs. And one of the TAs had a book about them. And so I read about them and we were working with them. And it just, you know, it's such a big deal. This is a problem that we're going to have to address, because the population won't last forever unless we do something serious about it. And right now, there's really no alternatives that people are trying to, you know, rescue this population for this, you know, critical product.
So fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Dr. Watson, you did a fantastic job. And as always, I feel like whenever we get an actual doctor of science on a Pitch for Good, all of us are like, wow, maybe we should go back to school, because there's a lot to learn in this world. Dr. Watson, appreciate you so much. Excited to hear where Limulus is going, and have fun up there in that attic molecular biology lab. And be careful, ventilate it, please. All right. Of course, always. Very safety first. All right, just to run down really quickly on all the teams that are presented today. I feel like this flew by. We've had 6 teams. We went up and running first. Again, these are companies that are 25K and above in revenue. We had Routine, who was thinking about that DNA-backed vitamin and mineral processes to help everyone live a healthier life. Doc Launcher, which is the recruitment tool for patients for clinical trials, connecting doctors and scientists with patients who can be part of their clinical trials and ultimately get new and emerging technologies in medicine to the market faster. And then MimConnect, which is the platform for talent of color to connect with some of the most exciting opportunities in marketing, advertising, and really industries across the board, and some of these really trailblazing industries and talent. In the launch category, these are companies that are at pre-revenue to up to 25K in revenue. We have the Comma Collective, which is trying to reinvent the period care world by thinking about biodegradable tampons, and also the impact of periods and menstruation on people's daily lives. Fluffy Friends, which is providing disease and chronic condition-based animals and pets and stuffies with connecting those to patients, children who are experiencing critical and chronic conditions. And then Limulus, which is trying to save the horseshoe crab by creating an alternative to our current medical and sanitation testing processes that require the use of horseshoe crab blood. Thank you so much to all 6 companies, and thank you to our judges. As you see on your screen, you should have a pop-up that is asking you about your favorite. So you can vote on who your favorite is here of those 6 companies. Lots of healthcare represented, and then also a lot of things that are, you have a good mix of business to business and business to consumer. So pick your passion, pick your poison, whoever you want to see get that crowd favorite winner. And our judges are tallying their scores for each of these companies now. While they're doing that, I just want to thank you again and just highlight some of these sponsors that have made it possible for us to present to you all. So Ewing Marion Kaufman Foundation, if you've never heard of them before, actually I'll be GP Sources first, thanks Jeremy. GP Sources, who is a local Nashville-based company, I actually got to meet the CEO last week at an event, and he's a character, Jeremy Lee. GP Sources is super, super helpful. Thanks to Felicia, I got to meet him. Super helpful to entrepreneurs who are trying to figure out, gosh, I have this product, but I don't know what the packaging should look like. I don't know what box I should ship it in. I don't know how I want it to look on a shelf. They are partnered to entrepreneurs and small businesses who are trying to figure out all those little things that can hold you up in getting your product to market. And so GP Sources is here. Kristen, are you on from GP Sources?
Hi, Bryn.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, how are you today?
I'm doing great. You want to tell us any more about GP Sources, about life? Are you in the office now?
I am in the office. I don't know if you can see my background, but
I can. It's great.
Well, congratulations. I just want to say to all the women that are founders, because I know that there's so many hurdles to get over. And so I just kudos to everybody. GP Sources is great for product creation, design, sourcing. We have a ton of capabilities. So if you don't know where to start, you can reach out to me, Kristen@gpsources.com, and we can help facilitate getting your feet on the ground. We have partnered with CPR Wrap, and Felicia and I worked very closely together, and we're making some good ground. And so kudos to Felicia as well. So thanks for having us.
Kristen, thank you so much. And I like that you have a small business, under 25 employees stepped out and wanted to sponsor this and thought about, usually we think about companies giving back when they're at the billions of dollars or, thousands of employees level, but I love that GP Sources stepped out and started to make this contribution when they're still small and growing. So it shows a lot of commitment to our community and to entrepreneurs. So thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Yay. All right, up next of our sponsors, and I can't recommend GP Sources enough, seriously. It's a confusing and wild world getting direct consumer stuff to people. So you need a friend, you need a partner, you need someone who understands the supply chain. And then we've got Dell Technologies. Dell equips the EC with a lot of the technology that enable us to work with you all. Jeremy, let's get that video going.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Not yet. Yes.
By our mission to make 3D printing accessible to support problem solvers worldwide, to take 3D printers where no man has gone before. We are working to decimate the two biggest barriers to 3D printing, and that's cost and scale. We're a flagship technology, the Gigabot. We've invented the world's largest affordable industrial 3D printer, and because of our community, we are now able to print from trash. We use technology to help others dream big and print huge. Whether it's designing the files that will then become the parts that get machined to make Gigabot, to actually designing the prints, technology is part of that thread. Meeting with a Dell Tech Advisor was super valuable. It exposed us to opportunities to help us scale and maintain and increase efficiency going forward. A lot of people have continued to mentor us and shape us along the way. What's really cool about Dwin is it's opened me up to a whole group of diverse women with different insights at different stages of growth that can help walk with us as we scale. As we look forward and we look into the digital thread and our ever-expanding global community, we believe we're just getting started. The ability to enable sustainable manufacturing and new job creation and economic independence is inherently right. And it motivates us to stay up late and to get up early and to laugh and cry and fail and along the way, hopefully divert some waste.
Well, that's awesome. I don't know how many people know, but Dell has a huge presence in Nashville. And I think one of the things that is increasingly common in Nashville is that we have these local companies that have a local presence with a huge global footprint as well. And Dell has been really deep in the ground with us. And sometimes we forget that they're this global company with this reach and working with some of the most exciting companies in the world, but because they're just in our backyard and they're our friends. So thank you so much for sharing with us about Dwin, and Jamie, thanks for representing Dwin here on the call today. And then we've got Launch Tennessee here. Chris, I believe, is on here. Mr.
Hey,
Hatch.
how's it going?
Hello, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you in a little bit.
I know. It's good to see you and a bunch of other familiar faces, Felicia, Jeremy. Saw Jane on earlier. So glad to be here. We are, of course, super pleased and always happy to support the National Entrepreneur Center and the great and amazing work that you guys are doing with entrepreneurs every day. Bryn, does it help if I kind of tell a little bit about Launch Tennessee?
I was going to say, I feel like I jumped in just because I was excited to see you, but please tell people about what Launch Tennessee is and what you do. Of course, we can do what we do without Launch Tennessee, so please tell us more.
Absolutely. So we're a statewide organization that is charged with supporting entrepreneurs around the state. And really, our goal is to make Tennessee one of the most startup-friendly states in the nation. And we do that through several different areas. My particular area is capital. We work to build a robust talent pipeline here for the state so we can have people to work at these amazing startups like that are growing here, like CPR Wrap. We also support the tech transfer community here and some of the high science things that are happening and plenty of other things. And we also put on a little event called 3686 that is unfortunately postponed this year, but for good reason. And we're hoping to be able to bring that back next year. I think the thing I would leave with everyone, if you were looking for resources, first start with folks like the National Entrepreneur Center. But certainly don't leave us out. Feel free to reach out. My email is, I'll put it in the chat later, but info@LaunchTN is always a good way to get to folks. And if you are a startup on the call and you're raising capital, definitely let us know. I would love to talk to you.
Chris, thank you so much. Chris has been at Launch Tennessee for what, 4-5 years? A long
It's
time.
like it was just 3.
I assume you've just been here since the beginning of my time in entrepreneurship. So it's great to have you. Launch Tennessee really is behind a lot of the initiatives that help advocate to the state of Tennessee about the role of entrepreneurs and small businesses and startups in the economy of Tennessee. So they are responsible for making sure that there are line items in the state budget around entrepreneurship and small business development. They fuel entrepreneur centers across the state like ours. And of course, when 3686 comes back, pending everyone getting vaccinated and everyone masking up and all that sort of thing, please go to 3686. This is probably one of the best entrepreneurship conferences in the US, but certainly in the Southeast. So really glad to see you all here. And while we have her, thank you so much, Chris. While we have her, I'm hoping we can have a chance to talk with Kristen Cavallari. Kristen, obviously, a lot of us were, I think I might be frozen, fangirling.
Oh.
Bryn, did we lose you? Just when she was saying all the nice stuff about you, Chris.
I know, man, bad timing.
Okay, I think I'm hearing something. Am I there?
Yeah, you're here. I can
Okay,
hear you.
there you
Oh my
are,
gosh,
you're
okay, thank
back.
God. Okay, thank goodness. I was really like, well, Kristen, wanted to talk to you. I mean, you're a transplant to Nashville like so many of us. I'm curious, what led you to want to start your business here and grow it here, and what compels you to be part of this entrepreneurial community?
Well, gosh, I love Nashville so much. We first bought our house about 9 years ago, and we were back and forth between Chicago and Nashville. And we just always knew that this is where we wanted to raise our kids. I'm out in Franklin, so I'm about 35 minutes outside of the city, and it's so peaceful and just beautiful and just a great place to raise 3 kids. We have 3 kids. So I love it. And I decided to open up my flagship store 3 years ago. And then we have our corporate offices, our fulfillment center is here. So everything is here. And it was important to me to put our roots down here because I'm here. I mean, as long as my kids are here, I'm here. So at least for another, 15 plus years or so. So I'm really happy.
I'm really curious. Okay, so I'm a big fan of the jewelry that you make. I'm really curious. I feel like your jewelry is modern, but it's elegant. It's geometric, but it feels sort of girly at the same time. I'm curious how you work as a design team and what inspires you in your aesthetic choices.
Yeah, well, thank you. First of all, I wish I could say we had a design team. The jewelry is all me, and so
no way. Oh my God, that's exciting.
One day we'll have a whole team. But I'm really drawn to really effortless, dainty pieces. I want everything in every collection to be easy to mix and match with what you already own in your own closet, to be cohesive with all of the other collections. I want you to just throw these pieces on and never have to think about them too much, because I am designing for the modern woman. We don't have 20 minutes every morning to try on all this different jewelry. We want to throw things on, we want to go, we have a million other things we have to get to. So that's the whole point of Uncommon James.
Oh, and I know you've also recently moved into skincare as well. What is that? Have you been surprised by anything in the skincare space, or easier, harder, just different?
It's very different. I've learned a lot in the last year and a half that we've been working on it. I think the biggest surprise for me, because we have a clean skincare brand, and so learning about clean beauty has been fascinating. Essentially, you can say you're a clean makeup brand, skincare brand, whatever it is, and you're sort of not, at least not according to my standards. And there's all of these different lists on the market. There's the Credo one, which is the strictest one, which it was important to us to check those boxes. But yeah, it was kind of alarming going down this road, seeing that, these clean skincare brands, in fact, have all these fillers and ingredients that I'm not crazy about putting on our face, which actually in turn ages you. And so just doing your own research is important, I think, when it comes to this stuff.
I totally see that. Like, even when I look at the ingredient list for something, even like the daily water cream, like that's something you're putting on your skin every day. And I don't know how many of us have sat and looked at the ingredients on our daily moisturizers, but it is really striking to see what you all put in it and what you don't put in it. So that's really exciting to see. And also I feel like Nashville doesn't have a ton of here in-house, made in Nashville skincare companies. I think there's probably fewer
Oh,
than
I wish
15.
I could say the skincare was, I wish it was made here. It's not made here. It's made in Miami. So it is at least,
okay.
you know, in the state. But yeah, no, it's not. It's nothing that's actually made in Nashville, unfortunately.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it. Someone was actually
Thank
talking
you.
about how it is hard to get. Yeah, it's hard to get cosmetics mixed in Nashville because we don't have a consumer accessible mixing lab. You kind of go to the university. So that's not surprising at all to me that Miami is ahead of the curve on their skincare game, and they are the mixing central. Well, everyone, please, Kristen, thank you so much for being with us. We are delighted that you. Yeah, we're just grateful that you're here in Nashville and producing something that feels uniquely Nashville, while also kind of connecting us to some of the broader jewelry and fashion and skincare trends that are happening on the coast too. So it feels very of Nashville, but also kind of Texas into what else is happening in the US. So thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate everyone, all our judges, Jamie, Felicia, and Kristen, and Jeremy. I believe we have our winners ready to go.
Yes, ma'am. So here's how it'll work. We're gonna do the up and running category first, then the launch category, and then the crowd favorite. And then just for judges and entrepreneurs alike, after we announce those, we're gonna bring everyone up on virtual stage to get like a screen grab, like basically a photo op. So that means all the founders, no matter if you win or lose, we're gonna celebrate you and grab a picture of everyone after. So just be ready and stick around until that. So up first, for the up and running category, the 2021 Pitch for Good Women Founders Edition. Routine.
Congratulations, Routine.
Routine. And so funny enough, Rachel Sanders talk about like having a company that's like up and running. She literally had a board meeting that she couldn't move and had to kind of slot this in, but Jocelyn from their team is representing. So I'm going to promote her to the panelist. So next we have the winner, the launch category. Another drum roll. That comma collective and Miller. Congratulations.
Beautiful.
We're bringing these people up to the stage as we speak. And then finally, the crowd spoke. You guys got to vote. And who will be taking home an EC scholarship? Fluffy Friends. Yay.
Exciting.
So at this point, we'll do a quick round of applause. And then as we bring everyone up to the stage, Bryn, can you just sort of MC for a second while we get everyone up here?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll take us home. The Women Founders Edition is probably, I'm getting a little, I'm going to mute you, mute yourself, Jeremy. I'm getting a little feedback. The Women Founders Edition is probably our favorite, to me personally, my favorite of the Pitch for Good series, because it highlights all the different ways, all the different intersections of what it means to be a woman, all the different industries that we're working in, and also all the ways that we comprise this entrepreneurial community. I don't know if people know, but like women in particular, women of color, are some of the fastest growing segments in entrepreneurship, particularly in the Southeast. So we are very much the drivers of this entrepreneurial scene. Congratulations to all six pitches, six pitch presenters today. It was a treat to get to see where you are and where you're at. And please feel free to drop your emails in the chat. I know there are people on here who would love to work with you and talk to you and support you as you grow your business. Jeremy, we got them all?
I believe so. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if Netta, Lauren, and Allison could turn on their cameras for a quick photo op, that would be ideal. And then I'm gonna go off screen. Netta, are you with us? Hey, there we go. So I'm gonna go off screen, but I'm just gonna count us down and someone in the back end will take a screenshot. So I'm gonna go off. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, smile. Pitch for Good.
Hey, Jeremy, can you stop sharing your screen so we can get
Oh,
everyone?
yes. Great call. My bad. All right, one more time. 3, 2, 1. Pitch for good. I think we got it. Bada bing.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, tuning in, pitching, judging, spectating, however you partook in this event. We do this generally once a month, sometimes every other month, and we are just getting started with the season 2 series. So please, if you know companies that would be great for Pitch for Good, we would love to have them up here on this stage, this virtual stage, as you will, if you will, and we would love to see more ideas. This has been so helpful for us to learn more about what's going on in our state in entrepreneurial activities. So thank you to everyone. Thank you again to our judges, Kristen, Jamie, Felicia. Congratulations to our winners, Miller, and then Rachel/Jocelyn from Routine and from the Collective. And we are very excited to see what you all do, all 6 of you. Thank you to Jeremy and Shelby on the back end on production. So appreciate you, and to our selection committee who helped us narrow down to these 6. We will see you really soon at the next Pitch for Good. Do we have a date up? Do we have a slide for the date, Jeremy?
No.
Okay,
but
perfect.
it's last Thursday in September. Sorry. Last Thursday in September. It's going to be music and entertainment edition.
Exciting.
Keep that in mind for all those music and entertainment founders out there. Applications are now live on our Pitch for Good page on our website. So just go to ec.co programs Pitch for Good, and you can see all the ones that remain in this season.
Beautiful. Thank you, Riley. September 30th at 12 p.m. Music, entertainment, all things digital content, all things digital entertainment, video, events, venue, you know the drill. Everything music and entertainment stuff that makes this town live and come to life. Everyone be safe.
Speaking of music and entertainment, my favorite part of the show.
What is it? Oh, Jeremy plays us out. Thank you, Jeremy. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you soon. We'll see you at the next Pitch for Good. Thank you to everyone. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Great work.
Who's hot, who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue.
Oh, hey, Brandon.
Just us in the party? Change on my lamp.
No one stays for the credits.
I know. I feel like that's the biggest concern about movies most of the time. No one sees who the best grip is. With the Globey sound.
It's more of the principle of the song. Like,
yeah,
we're happy for them, but like, you gotta know as you go.
Like, this is the cut. Catherine says, I do. The credits are the most important part. Thanks, Catherine.
Okay, with that, thank you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Jeremy, awesome work today. Shelby, great work today. Beautiful.
Much love. Peace and
blessings. Much love. I'll see you soon. See you back on the East Coast.
Next month.
Next month.